Hello my gorgeous people and welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizaveta S, and today I look like Dita Fontees. I don't know why, that red lipstick, that very pale skin, I gotta go tan. Why do I look like Dita Fontees? I don't know. But without further ado, I was really thinking what video to make. I am back on my YouTube. I know I see that occasionally, and occasionally I get my motivation to get back into YouTube. The YouTube. Is it the or not the?
Almost out of style. Give it a ride. Give me more. Let me be glad. I'm a new black. Cutting in your heart. Why be a kid when you can be?
And I was thinking what video to record for you today. I realized that there was a very important training that I went to, which I have not yet talked to you about. As you know or don't know, I am a clinical psychologist and I am the biggest activist for personal development and growth and different courses and things that you can do to improve your life. Because at the end of the day, your life is solely your responsibility. If you want to live a better life, you have to change your choices and make different choices. I heard this phrase that I really love, which says magic is real, but the only way to experience magic is to start making different choices, is to start doing different things. Then your life is going to become magical. And that is true because we live in this old paradigm of like doing the same things over and over again, and then we expect something new to happen, some new outcome to happen, right? The quote from Einstein that says insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different result, right? You're crazy for doing that. That's not going to happen. So I'm, as a biggest activist for personal growth and finding new things for myself as well, I love to go on different trainings and different retreats. I have another video of me going to Joe Dispenza advanced retreat last year. If you want to go see it, it's going to be right there. I hope I am adding the right link. Oh, by the way, if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and subscribe to my Instagram as well, right? It's all going to be around there. So I went to Joe Dispenza retreat. I do love going on different retreats. For me, it is one of the best things that you can do because you basically put yourself into not just 1% of different actions and different, activities and people. You blend yourself into a completely new environment. That's why traveling, by the way, is very important. Traveling is going to exponentially boost your personal growth level, always. So this time I went to Donny Epstein's training, and I'm gonna talk to you about that today. But anyway, going to a training, I do that occasionally, maybe like 2 times a year, maybe sometimes 3. Last year I went to Joe Dispenza training. I do take some courses once in a while. This year I really want to go to Tony Robbins. I've never been to Tony Robbins live because when I was ready to go to his training, the pandemic started and I was like, I'm not paying VIP Platinum to sit in my home and jump around the kitchen table. I can do that for free. I don't need Tony to do that, to say jump. Okay, I can do that myself. I was really thinking in the beginning of this year, what trainings do I want to take? I want to do Vipassana this year as well. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that yet. So if you want to hear my honest review, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. So one of my friends recommended, or not even recommended, she talked about Donny Epstein. And Donny Epstein is known to be the energy trainer of Tony Robbins. And sometimes in some of his retreats, he has his own, moment of fame, and he teaches his stuff and he works with the audience. I think he has some private one-on-ones as well. And without knowing a lot or diving really deep into like what is he all about, I booked my training. Originally, I booked one last year, which cost $10,000, and it's Ultimatum with Donny Epstein. But I prepaid it, and then I get an email saying, well, we're so sorry, you didn't make it. You didn't make it. I don't know why. I think they overbooked it, and later what I realized or what I learned, the Ultimatum training is a 10-day retreat personally with Donny, and the spots are very limited. It's like less than 50, I think. So he works with everyone one-on-one. So I didn't get to that one. I got my payment back. And this year I was like, okay, well, that was on my Gestalt. My Gestalt with Donny is still open. Why not book his other trainings, right? And I booked Gate, which usually is taking place in Denver, Colorado. I booked it in the beginning of this year and I was like, time to go, girl. Let's go. Time comes and I go. The 3-day gate is about $1,500, sorry, not $15,000, $1,500 plus the hotel, plus the accommodation, etc., etc. So today I want to kind of a little bit give you my honest review, my honest opinion as to what Donny Epstein is. Does his work make sense to me? Did it work for me or not? Because I just YouTubed it and I realized that there are absolutely no reviews on these retreats. So I was like, maybe it's time for me to record one. So I get there, and first thing that I started having in Denver, Colorado is the craziest allergy, like insane. And as a psychologist, of course, I understand there are some psychosomatic things happening or can be happening, especially when it comes to allergies. But later on, I realized the hotel was like really, really, really bad, and I could not breathe. I could not work. I could not breathe. And I was like, interesting thing. I wonder what my body's trying to tell me right now. Because again, I don't know what he's about. I don't know what train or who he's, we're gonna get there. Who he's channeling from, if you please, okay? And I didn't know that. I did not know that. But I just took a leap of faith. As I always do. I like to take a leap of faith. What Donny Epstein does, or what his epi-energetics thing basically is, from my perception. Again, this whole video is just about my perception and what is happening, what was happening for me personally. So Donny works with the Kundalini energy. Him being originally a chiropractor, right, who works with the body, it's very body oriented. Again, for me personally, Kundalini is not a new modality. Not only have I been practicing Kundalini yoga for a while, I still go back and forth sometimes when I need an extra boost on my energy self. I go to a Kundalini yoga in LA. I did do Kundalini activation process, which is called CAP. I really enjoyed that one. That one really boosts you. I am very in touch with my energy, with my body energy. Like I can start shaking from energy if I want to, like pretty easily. If I go deep into the meditation, if I want to cleanse, I get very, very sensitive when it comes to energy, right? Like last time I was in Thailand over New Year's with my mom, and it was complete detox, no alcohol, no sugar, no nothing, meditation, working out, very, very healthy. And during the meditations over there, I was like channeling Kundalini like crazy. My whole body would be like, vibrating and doing all the crazy stuff. So what Donny Epstein's technique basically is also activating that Kundalini energy in your body, basically activating different chakras, activating the channel, connecting you to your higher self, all the good stuff, all the good stuff that you have. So I get there, again, I am familiar with Kundalini, right? We established that. But that resistance is still there. That crazy allergy on the second day, and I'm like, I don't want to get into the room. You don't understand how much resistance did I have. And one of the hardest things that you have to determine within yourself, especially when you're a pretty aware person, is differentiating that resistance, right? That internal kind of resistance, being like, oh, this is gonna be good for me, but my mind is breaking that, from your intuition, from your higher self saying, don't do this, this is not for you, like this is not a place for you, honey, like don't go, okay? And those things can feel very similar occasionally, so you have to really be honest with yourself and really dive into yourself to understand what that is. If you want to, I can record a separate video how to activate your intuition, how to really be in touch with your body and to break through that resistance and know where the differences are, right? Sometimes it feels like, intuition being like, I don't want to do that, but it's actually your resistance saying that. Your mind does not want to change. It doesn't like to change. Anyhow, I started feeling that right away. I was like, the allergies, the everything, but I'm gonna push through that. I'm gonna see what this whole thing is about. And for the first 2 days, basically, Donny speaks himself, and then you get to the table, on the table, there are a lot of massage tables, to one of his trainees, to one of the people that he trained to do that activation process. And people are having this energy. They're like, flying off the tables like crazy. And for some people, if you haven't seen that ever before, it's gonna be like, wow, that's shocking, oh my god, what is he doing? They're ecstatic. Is it devil, is it God? We don't know. But for me, it's like, I know exactly what it is. I've seen that so many times in my life, from everything from breath work to meditation to kundalini to cap. Like, I know how energy moves, okay? We know that. I've seen something crazier than that. Even ayahuasca, which is a different thing. But anyway, so I get to the table. There's a huge line that you have to go through to get on the table to one of his practitioners. And the first one was good for me. Again, it's like 2 days of just doing that like 4 times or 6 times. I don't know, 6 times. But by the second and third time, when I got to a different practitioner, my body and my energy was so much stronger than the person that I could feel him shaking and my whole body being like, don't you dare touch me right now. Okay, honey boo? Like, try to touch me. I'm gonna show you what energy really is. I was like, phew. And the poor man was like oohing and ahhing all around my table, being like, I don't know what to do with you. Oh my God. And I'm like, yeah, because I don't allow you into my field. I don't allow you to interact with my energy. And some people are missing that. Like, especially nowadays, you have to be so careful as to who you allow to interact with your energy. Because a little spiritual talk, there are so many different planes of energy. Energy is just over, like it just exists, right? But there's also like higher and lower planes of energy that people can channel things from. Doesn't mean that it's better or worse. It just means like different colors of that, if you please, right? And these different colors, again, they can be positive and negative, and that is only our perception, because the positive energies that people can channel, they come through the planes that feed off of our positivity and off of our like positive energy, like cows, right? But there's also negative ones which feed off of our negative emotions and negative energy. They will still give you power, but they would feed off of your negative stuff, like lower vibration. And both of those planes can be much more powerful than us, right? And they can feel like, oh my God, that person's so powerful. He can read through your soul. He knows exactly what to do. So I'm always very careful who do I allow openly to get into my energy field, because I'm like, bitch, I don't care how powerful you are. I know I am powerful, but I don't fuck with any like not low vibes, but like low plane vibrations. And I literally had this experience a few months before, again, when I was in Thailand. This is like a little side story. When I was in Thailand, there was this guy who was like an invited speaker on energy work and consciousness. So he was in this like clinic that I went to. Like, I have a whole video about describing the Chiva Som, one of the most luxurious spots, like a very luxury high-end kind of clinic. So he's there, a guest speaker, and we sit in the room. I go to his class, and people who can read energy, they read me right away. They're like, I feel you. You come into the room, I feel you, okay? That was really funny, because we sat down on the table, on the round table, and he starts talking, and again, everyone's on like different level of like awareness and consciousness and like energy and psychology, all the good stuff. And he's sitting right next to me, and I'm like scanning him because I know how to do it. And he like looks at me, he's like, who are you? I'm getting the feeling people usually get when I look at them. And I'm like, nice to meet you, Elizaveta S. But then, like, I knew he was powerful. I knew he had that channel, right? I knew he could channel higher energies. I knew he was working through some entities, through other planes. And we went to a dinner. Like, my first thing was like, okay, tell me if it's good or bad, positive or negative. Okay, good or bad energies he's channeling with. And we're sitting at the dinner, like having a little conversation. And at the same time, I am asking through how I know how to connect to the higher self, how I know how to connect to like the power of everything, the universe, however you want to call it. I'm just asking, like, tell me, show me positive, negative, who's he working with? Who's he working with? And next scene was literally a scene from an exorcism, because I could feel entities, I could feel energy just basically fighting at that moment. They kind of like took me and shook me, and like my head just got squished and my body got squished, and I'm like, oh. And my mom is sitting next to me and she got scared. She's like, are you okay? And I'm like, that guy just sent his bad energies at me. Okay, he sent his channelers or his whatever entities at me, and I don't vibe with that. Like, don't do that. You're not a fucking positive light worker if you're doing that. If you need to really protect knowing where your energies are coming from, that's gonna tell me a lot. So from that on, I was like, okay, bye, honey, bye. Okay, maybe next time, maybe in a different lifetime, you kind of elevate. do your thing, honey boo. So here happened the same thing. Not that I was like, feeling the exorcism situation, but I felt that my energy was protecting itself. And it was like, don't you touch me. Ow. Ew. No, thank you. I just wanted to close off. I wanted to close down. And that's what was happening to me. And I was fighting, and I started having like weird dreams when I was in the hotel. Like my energies were just getting worse and worse, even though I Zyrtec, I took some pills, and I'm like, okay, girl, I am dying here. Like I am not staying any longer. And I met some friends there, and we were discussing like, where does Donny kind of like channel his energies from, and how are they feeling? And I got a lot of very answers both ways kind of thing. And I didn't meet anyone that would really vibe with, as opposed to when I went to Joe Dispenza. Like Joe Dispenza is also very powerful. I love him. I have my own, not problem, but we have our own talks with him. Watch that video if you haven't seen it about my experience at Joe Dispenza. But I was like, he's positive. He does all the good stuff. Okay, we like it. We appreciate it. Love you, Joe. I still do your meditations. If you're watching this video, just in case, thumbs up and a little heart. I even wanted to know what room you were staying in when I was at your retreat. So yeah, it was an interesting. But this, Donny just like nothing vibed with me. Absolutely nothing. So on day 2, instead of pushing myself through that and being like, I have to do it, I have to be strong, this is my resistance, I was like, no, this is not my resistance anymore. I'm leaving. And I booked my ticket and I basically left on the 2nd day out of 3. So that is my little experience with Donny Epstein. Let me know, how are you a fan of his work? Does it work for you, right? Does his energy match with your energy? Do you really feel like he's resonating with you on the same plane or not? Because it didn't work for me. And I'm like, that's fine. I'm not gonna shit on anyone. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're working through the devil or you're working through the God. No, not necessarily. No one was hunting me. I knew I had to move out of that space. I had to excuse moi and leave. So that is it. I wanted to be honest with you and share that because I want you to be aware of what energies you're allowing into your body, into your space, into your presence, because it matters a lot. Like that is important. Be aware of your vibing or not vibing with, and be aware of what can enter you and what cannot, because believe it or not, you will have to clean it. Just like our body, if you step into a mud, how is it called? Mud or pud? You step into it, you're gonna be dirty, you have to clean yourself. So same things happens on the energy level. So be aware of that. Anyway, that was my video, my little chat about Donny Epstein. Let me know down below if you have worked with him. What do you think? Maybe you went to Ultimatum, maybe you went to the Gate, which of his retreats you went to, and what do you think about them? Feel any breakthrough or not? Anyway, my name is Elizaveta S. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of this content about personal development, about really growing into your space, and I'll see you in the next video.